And wow, we're still gliding at 80 kilometers an hour. I did really not think we were going to have that much lift. Oh god, oh no, wait. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program then, with me, Spacefish, and welcome back once more to the upgraded Kerbal Space Center with our fancy space plane hangar now being a bit beefier than it once used to be. In the last episode, we kind of got back to what we were doing the previous episode, which was trying to get a proper plane setup going that allows us to test the only set of airplane engines that we currently have at the altitude that is required to us by the game. And if we have a quick look at this by now, quite funky looking design, you will see that we have slapped an incredible amount of engines on this thing at this point, even a weird amount of wings and everything, in an effort to finally get this thing to where we want it to be in terms of altitude and speed, and it is still not enough. I spent 2 episodes now on this simple side task because, well, I don't know, like, we've just got to engine overload this thing to the max. I can't even tell you. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing this episode. We're going to slap all the engines on there, probably like another 4 at the very least, maybe even 6. We'll just slap as many on there as we can think of, and, well, we'll launch this thing again, we'll complete that mission finally, and then we'll finally move on back to the main missions, because honestly, this one's kind of very much annoyed me, and I think we're going to be done with these side missions for quite a while now and actually focus on the good old exploration, moon, Minmus, and whatever else is going to be there waiting for us in the future instead of this stuff, because I think we've wasted way too much time on that. But with that said then, quickly, just before we get started with this episode, if you're new around here, and if you happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below. That would help out a ton. We're currently trying to go for 1k subscribers, so every single one would mean a huge ton to me. But with that all out of the way then, let's just quickly go and slap on some more engines. That's exactly what we're going to have to be doing. I would really like to actually just duplicate parts of this as, like, you know, something like this. Oh! I've kind of found out how to do that, apparently, so we will just be duplicating parts. If you're interested, and if you don't know yourself yet, you can just alt-click, and you receive this, and then you can just slap that somewhere else, basically. And we're going to do just that. We're going to slap this into other places, hopefully into places where things are not going to get too intermangled, and while that is a bit intermangled, we'll just kind of count on the fact that it's not going to explode on us, and well, you know, who knows if that's really not going to explode on us, but, well, fingers crossed, I suppose. We're going to find out on the runway at the very latest, I suppose. So, no, not like that. That's beautiful, you know, in Kerbal Space Program, as opposed to very many other games I have found out, which have, like, building aspects to them and terraforming aspects to them. It's, like, you can just hit Control-Z and it's done, which, for some reason, a lot of games have not actually implemented that kind of feature, so that is honestly quite unfortunate. But what we will try and do here, okay, no, we'll have to go to structural, and we'll go and grab some more girders, and we will go and actually slap those girders on, just like that, and we'll slap another set of girders on. I hope there's no, like, heat coming out of these engines, because otherwise, you know, just saying, they're probably going to absolutely explode on us. We'll see. But we'll just slap some more engines onto here then, basically. Which, you know, this sort of construct is very apparently not quite ideal, but, we'll give it a try, I suppose, if we can, if we may, I don't know. Maybe we cannot. Let's alter the alignment of these thingies here then, and actually align them like that, so a bit more properly. And then we'll just slap these things on top of here. There we go. That's the plan right there. Boom. Pushing us a bit downwards, unfortunately, these thrusters. I'm not quite sure why that has to be aligned like that. I'm sure we can fix that though, so let's do something a little more like that, and I think that's fine. So that's, you know, another set of engines weirdly slammed onto this thing, and we'll probably slap on even one more set like this, and we'll just hope that this works now. I know this is looking ridiculous, and I would absolutely agree with you. That is just absolutely ridiculous, but honestly, at this point, like, even just mounting these engines is so much of a pain, and then, the way that these things function is so much of a pain. I don't know, like, I think I've stopped caring about the design of this airplane a whole long while ago, and at this point, we're just trying to somehow get this thing where it needs to be, which, is this 12,000 to 14,000 meter altitude, and as annoying and weird as this all may be, that's just going to have to be the approach that we take. Engines are being quite loud, I have to... Oops. Okay. Well, let's fix those engines. We've apparently aligned one set of engines the wrong way around. The question would be which set that would be, because... quite frankly... Oh, it's the upper one, isn't it? Okay, so the last one we just did. Hello? May I alter this? Hello? Why can I not edit this plane right now? Can anyone tell me? We cannot edit this. We will potentially just leave this and reload this, because apparently the game's now not very happy with me. But yeah, just in the rush of finally completing this thing, apparently I misaligned the last set of engines here. There we go. And we will do this and that. And there we go. Cool. So, let's hope then that this thing is not going to explode on us. Thus far, it didn't. You know, thus far, that all looked quite fine. And now that we don't have engines actually slowing us down instead of speeding us up, you know, that should be all done in terms of design. I'm still going to stay a bit further away from the airplane because quite evidently it is quite loud. And, well... there we go, with a whole lot of speed. Holy moly, I mean, it was fast the first time. I guess it's even faster now. And we're going to retract the gear. And we'll shoot up into the sky like no tomorrow. 150 meters a second already. This thing's starting to become more of a fighter jet, I suppose, than an actual airplane. Which, given this amount of engines, it better be a fighter plane at this point, honestly. We're climbing at an insane 50 degrees at this point, still accelerating at that angle, which I think is quite mad, but, you know, we're getting there quite fast in terms of altitude now, so that is something very nice indeed, and let's hope that we finally can reach that altitude, because, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a bit, the thing is, I don't think it's really that much a lack of engines than more a lack of oxygen for the engines that's keeping us away from this altitude, because you can see them lose their power quite rapidly at those kinds of altitudes. But that's then again also sort of because they were really, it seems, not that much made for this sort of altitude. So, I don't know, this mission kind of intentionally pushing the boundaries, I suppose, on what the engines can do, which is fair and all, but I would still like to get there and I would still like to complete it, and I really hope that another 6 engines now will get us there, because honestly, I'm quite done with this stuff at this point. So let's hope that we can finally make it. I'm really not looking forward to giving this even another try, so I suppose we'll see just how far we get. We're at 11k already, so doing quite fine in terms of altitude. We need to go a bit past that though, and then we need to go past 210 meters a second as well. But you can see surface speed is still quite stable even at this altitude. I think the last time we literally missed this altitude by like 100 meters or something. So, you know, that was fun, of course. But then again, I'm not quite sure we would have been able to get that speed in with being that close anyway. So, you know, that is that. That said, this is the altitude now, basically, that we want to be at, so that is beautiful. Now we need to reach the speed and not lose the altitude in the meanwhile, so that's going to be an interesting one. You can see we're already dropping again out of the sky. We seem to be struggling a bit with the amount of lift we're generating as well, because like 10 degrees of a pitch angle is basically already dropping us out of the sky, so that's something to keep in mind right there. 180 meters a second at the altitude we want to be at. I'm trying to just keep us at the altitude we want to be at while getting the speed in, basically. It's quite the tight fit, though. I mean, of course, the faster we get, the more lift we get, but then again, don't want to drop below that altitude. So, it's going to be a bit of belay here, trying to get that speed in. We're nearly there, though. Like 10 meters a second more, and we've got it. That is, though, while remaining at the altitude we want. Oh, that was nearly it. I think we just dipped below that 12,000 meters when we hit 210 meters a second. There we go. That is not green, though. Why is this not green? Oh my god. You've got to be joking, right? Do I have to ignite an engine up here? Oh my god. I think we just wasted our time once more, didn't we? Well, we could, I suppose, shut down... Oh no, wait. There's a run test button. Okay, never mind. Don't mind me. There's a run test. I think that's what we need. Fingers crossed, everyone, that we should be able to make this. We're incredibly far from KSC at this point, so we probably wanted to turn around at some point as well. I dipped that plane a bit too much. But we did it once in terms of the speed, so that should be doable again. Then we just need to actually run the test. So let's force it up for now. Ideally above that 12,000 meter line by a good margin, so we've got some space to speed up. Cool. And then we'll just slowly get this thing back up to speed, I suppose. Or quickly. This is going to be quite the clench, isn't it? Actually getting that done in time. Come on. 200. 201. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we got it done. Holy bejesus. Honestly, that was quite the pain, wasn't it, everyone? I don't know how we managed to take 2.5 episodes for this, but... well, sorry for that. I would have really liked to fill that with some other content of, like, exploring other planets and stuff. Originally, when I took this mission, I was thinking, you know, how bad could it be? Maybe we take a full episode and then we're done. But quite evidently, the mission was actually a lot harder than I thought. So, yeah. You know, sorry for that. I'm going to make my way back to KSC. I suppose that on the way back, for now, not really much is going to happen. The airplane feels quite aerodynamically stable overall, I suppose. When I get a bit closer to the landing strip, though, I'll be back with you, so we can hopefully try and just land this thing together. Maybe just have a quick view here with Jeb. Oh boy. I mean, he's seeing a bunch. These canards are quite interesting. You can see KSC there coming up. Absolutely beautiful. Anyways, though, we are going to head on our way home at quite the astonishing speeds. Honestly, 300 meters a second is quite decent, I would say. Actually, remarkably close to the sound barrier for this weird of a plane. But one way or another, we will head on, and I'll be back with you once we're a bit closer. I'm actually back, everyone. We're about to break through the sound barrier, as may be slightly evident, you know, just wanted to quickly point that out. I'm not sure, you know, I guess this thing is not all too aerodynamic, but the amount of power it has at this point to reach these sorts of altitudes at those sorts of speeds, yeah, interesting one. Anyways, I'll be back when we're even a bit closer. Alright, everyone, so we are on final approach. I'm trying to get us to slow down a bit more, because I would say that 170 meters was still quite fast out here, so, you know, don't want to overdo the approach. And we're going to try and glide this one in. Let's see how well that's going to work. Gear is going to go out, and I'll try and ease her in. I'm not too convinced yet that this is going to go all too well, but we managed to land this thing once when it was not quite as janky. I guess we'll have to manage to land her a second time now that she is a bit more janky, so fingers crossed, everyone. Wish me luck. We're still a tad bit high, a tad bit off to the right, but that's not all too tragic. Don't want to start going too slow and suddenly stalling, though, so I'm kind of wary of that. I don't know, the approach is looking quite good, I would say. Yeah. Quite happy here. Oh, not happy with that one. Controls are a bit more sensitive than I thought they were at these speeds. And, wow, we're still gliding at 80 kilometers an hour. I did really not think we were going to have that much lift. Oh, God. Oh, no, wait. Power up, power up, power up. Oh, actually, no. Wait. I think we can continue braking. Somehow. I'm not quite sure how, but... I was really worried we were going to explode when we yeeted off the runway to the right there after hitting the ground. Somehow we made it, though. Somehow we made it. Somehow we're back somewhat unscathed at the KSC. Was really sort of worried about landing this janky thing, but overall I suppose it worked out quite well. So let's finally go and recover this thing, and I can finally stop screaming, because, you know, but this thing is really loud. I don't know how it is for you. I hope it's more balanced for you, but for me it is really, really quite loud in my ears. That said, recovery of a vessel that survived flight, you know, nothing special out there. Got pretty much all the money back that I think we put into it, which is always quite crazy, you know. The airplanes don't really seem to cost us anything in that regard. And, you know, everything absolutely beautiful. Jeb didn't gain anything experience, which sucks, but that is what it is. Thing came back home. And we can finally go to... Oh, did we actually already complete it automatically then, I suppose, yeah? Cool. So, mission complete. That's that. Done. Now, we have got a contract to explore the moon. And crew that have been co-opted up for too long start muttering about space krakens, blah, blah, blah. Transfer any crew between vessels near the moon. Other than that, planned flag on the moon, which we can do over the duration of 9 years, so I think we can probably accept that one. 47 grand, I mean, you know, 47k advance, 126 for completion is quite nice. And the thing is, I'm not quite sure if we're ever going to be on the moon again in terms of, like, the contracts we have here, but worst case, we could just do like that. That said, in that case, I'm not sure if it would actually be profitable for us. I'm not... Ooh. Send a Kerbal engineer and a craft and attach a Communitron 16 to the target satellite. Oh, we would have to... Yeah, I guess we can't put that into the same mission. I'm not sure. I think we're just going to go for the Explore the Moon thing for now, and then we're going to go from there. So, what we're going to have to do for Explore the Moon is we'll actually have 2 crew, well, 2 rockets, I suppose. They'll have to meet up with each other mid-orbit. And, okay, so we can maybe start planning that out. I mean, technically we do already have the vehicle for that, I suppose. Because we did already meet up between a satellite and a manned vessel, I think, in lunar orbit, which I'm not quite sure which one that was, to be fair. That's a good question, actually. Was it the Lunar Magic, then? Let's load up this version of it. I think this must have been it, no? Lunar Magic Mark 1, which else do we have? Mark 2. I'm quite sure the Mark 3 was our lunar lander, and indeed it was. I'm not sure about the Mark 1. It may have been the Mark 2 that we actually rendezvoused up with then. You can see a more simple design, and of course the command pod right here with the 2 astronaut spaces. I think we can technically use this twice and just have only 1 Kerbal on one of the rockets, basically, and then the 1 Kerbal just transfers from one into the other, and that's it. The thing is, I suppose we would need 2 pilots. I'm not sure we have 2 pilots. Oh, I guess we've got Valentina. So yeah, she could fly one, and then, you know, Jeb gets to fly the other one, and we'll, I don't know, have Bill come over? Something along those lines. We could also have Bob come over, because quite honestly, I think getting some experience going on our scientist is the more important part, because, well, he's going to be the one that's going to allow us to take even more research with us until we reset experiments and all, so I would actually like to give him some experience. But I think this overall is being a good idea, so we should probably consider that. Alright, so let's quickly just go over this rocket to double, triple, quadruple check that everything seems about fine. Now, what I suppose we technically do not even need would be the scientific module on this very rocket. Would save us some costs, to be quite frank with you, and I mean, if we're not going to need it, we may as well save the money, in my opinion. We've mostly picked up everything. Whoopsies, just clicked out of the game. We've mostly picked up everything from the lunar surface, well, from the lunar orbit in terms of scientific data. Why am I once more not allowed to? Is it because I'm not in build mode? Okay. So, I think we're going to delete this part right here. Quite sure, let me double check around the module, but I'm quite sure there's nothing on there of value to us. Just like a thermometer, a pressure analyzer, a goo thingy, and then an experimental bay. So yeah, we can just get rid of that part, save a bit of money there, get that connected, and I mean, of course, also save a bit of weight. So that's, of course, something that you should not be forgetting about. And, well, then we've got our first stage right here with 4 main boosters and the main stage. We've got the disconnect, we've got that disconnect, we've got the new engine ignition, and we have finally got the MK16 parachute. So that's all quite fine. I think we can get started like that. So let's look into the crew right here. Do we even need 2 crew on... Well, yeah, we do need 2 crew on 1 rocket. So I guess we'll remove Bill from this one and we'll put Bob on that one. So hopefully, maybe he'll somehow gather some XP. We'll see about that, I suppose. And, yeah. Then we will go and... Oh, see, he's got a different log than the others. No. That's the effects. So science return. Oh, so once he gets more stars, there you get more of a science return? Is that it? Because that would be quite sick. That would be really cool. I mean, you can repack parachutes with this, guys, and increase resource converter efficiency. What's a resource converter? Drill. Cool. We don't have that yet, but cool. And then, of course, we've got Jeb right here, which, I mean, the more skills he gets, I think the more control you get over the vehicle in terms of, like, different control modes and stuff like that. But yeah, so we're going to get Jeb and Bob on this one, we're going to get Valentina on the second one, and then Bob's just going to fly over to Valentina basically mid-orbit, and that's going to be it. Let's double check that that's actually the case with the contract, but you can see, transfer any crew between vessels near the moon. Easy enough, I suppose. Near the moon, I suppose, is going to be lower lunar orbit, so we got to keep that in mind. But other than that, I would say that is about it. The interesting point, there's multiple launch sites that we can actually even use out on the planet. So it's quite cool. I think we're just going to quickly check them out. We're going to revert afterwards. But I just want to check out where they're at and what they look like, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So, you know, let's quickly have a look at that. I've literally never ever seen that before. So we're going to give that a quick look. This apparently is the crater. Is that the crater launch site? It was the middle one, most certainly. Looking quite cool, I have to say. Right at the seashore. And you can see that this is not actually quite on the equator, so that's something to keep in mind. I suppose that's the last launch site. So different launch sites for different purposes. Maybe some of these align a bit better with the orbits of some other, like, planets and stuff. Like this one right here, to be fair, looks like it would be quite good for Minmus, given that Minmus has a bit of a orbit that is similarly shaped. So maybe we should actually take into account the consideration of using some of these in the future. We're going to revert to the VAB, though. We're going to check the other one out as well. And we'd, of course, use the normal one for the time being, because that's kind of the placement that we want. This one right here, then, the Mahi one, I think. Let's look at that one too. Seem to be quite northern, so I would guess quite the skewed orbit. Not quite sure what planet or anything you would be able to use that one for. Well, you can see right here, we would be all the way out here. Kind of wondering if this launch site also changes in terms of scale and stuff when we upgrade our main launch site, or how that works. But yeah, that seems to be all the way out here. Can zoom out quite far, actually. Not the one I thought it was going to be. Unsure why we cannot use the Woomerang one. That was certainly not in the list of options. But this one being more towards the South Pole, in fact. So interesting one. I wouldn't see any planets with that much of a skewed orbit that it would really be worth it. And holy moly, is some of our debris far out there. 874. Oh, bye. Okay. Anyways, that just flew out of the universe. But yeah, so, interesting ones, I would say. We are going to revert to VAB though, then we are going to go and hit that button to launch from our standard launch pad, and then we're going to end this episode off right here, on the middle of the launch pad. Next episode then, we're going to launch 2 rockets into space. We're going to get them both over to the moon, and we'll hopefully have a nice rendezvous, move over Bob from one rocket to another, and, well, then head home on our merry way, and we'll hopefully get some more interesting contracts, maybe to drive around the lunar surface, maybe to drive around Minmus. We will find out more about that very soon, I am sure. But for today, this has been it. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. I hope you're all happy that we're finally done with the spaceplane chapter. It's been quite a weird adventure. We're looking for more proper exploration and proper contracts now, most certainly. So I'll hope you will be there next time again. For today, though, this has been it. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button right down below. That does help out the channel a ton. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next one very, very soon. Ciao.